Welcome back, people. Today's a good day. Today is a great day, as a matter of fact. It's a great day to talk about the Colts. It's a great day to talk about this division rivalry game we have coming up on Sunday. And you know what? We're just gonna go ahead and just get it kicked off. Welcome back to the Sick Podcast Anvil Show. Sammy, bring us in.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. Anvil Show.
Intercepted! Marlon Jackson! Marlon's got it! We're going to the Super Bowl! We're going to the Super Bowl! Marlon Jackson with the interception! He picked off Tom Brady!
The sickest Indianapolis Colts podcast. It's gonna be sick.
Welcome back to the Sick Podcast Anvil Show. We're coming to you with everything Colts and all the good stuff that you want to hear about, especially from us. And I mean, who more attractive to bring you the news than myself and Big P? Big P, say what's up to the people.
What's up, people?
Yes, sir. We appreciate you. And yes, and like I said, I'm Chris Jackson. And you know what? We need to go ahead and get into this because we're expecting a lot of great things, mostly touchdowns or TD, tutty, in for six, whatever you want to call it. They matter more at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. We don't care how they score them. We just want to bet on touchdowns because, it's just like ugly, pretty, whatever. We love the wins and we love the TDs, and DraftKings Sportsbook is delivering. Now, if you're ready to place your first bet, you could try betting on something simple like a player to score a touchdown, where you can go to DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. I don't know, Big P, what do you think is going to be a good bet for this week? Could be an anytime TD score.
Josh Downs anytime.
That was literally, yeah. See, look, we're on the same page. I like it. As a matter of fact, I don't like it. I love it. All right. So if you're ready to do a touchdown dance of your own, the new DraftKings customers, you bet $5 and you get $200 in bonus bets instantly. All right. So score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the number one place to bet touchdowns. You can download the Sportsbook app and use code SICKSPORTS. That's SICKSPORTS. All one word, all uppercase. And that's code SICKSPORTS for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ftball.
All right. And with that being said, Pat, go ahead and talk to the people. Tell them what we got coming on.
Right now?
Oh, yeah.
Already?
You want to do it? I mean, we could wait. You want to wait? We could wait.
Yeah, let's wait.
All right, let's wait.
Our guest ain't even backstage yet.
Yes, he is.
Uh-uh.
I know this future technology catches you off guard sometime, but,
It does. All right, you know what? The hell with it. We're going to just fly off the hip here. Sammy, go ahead and bring in the meanie. But listen, everybody, we got a special guest tonight. And he's going to be a reoccurring guest because the Blue Meanie, a.k.a. Eric Griffin, is now a member of the Anvil, and he's going to be our head writer.
Thrilled to be here, gentlemen.
Hey, appreciate you. Glad you're here.
I hope these guys are ready for my sense of humor, though.
That's what I can't wait.
Yo, like the thing is that the best way to premise anything is just like, I hope everybody's ready for this, because it's just like, generally, are they? Not really. But you know what? At this point, you gotta be. So yes. So man.
Now, Meanie, this is Chris. Chris, this is Meanie. Chris is out in Kansas City.
Unfortunately.
The home of Arthur Bryant's barbecue. Ooh.
Sorry. You're gonna make a fat boy hungry talking like that.
Hey.
But anyways,
can't eat too much of that. You can't eat too much of that.
No, but it's delicious, man.
It is. It is.
For everybody that doesn't know Eric is a long-standing member of the Blue Crew, and we just happened to be talking Sunday at the game, and Eric had mentioned, yeah, I used to write, I used to do this, I used to do that. I said, well, you want to write some more? And he said, yeah, I wouldn't mind getting back into it. And I said, cool, send me your first piece. And he sent it Monday afternoon.
Yep.
I mean, it was fast. Fastest turnaround I've ever seen. And it was absolutely phenomenal.
Thank you.
So we've got Eric set up on the Sick Media website. It's got a link will be in the description so you can read his full articles. We're hoping that his schedule can match up to ours, and at least once a week we can get in here, dive into the nuts and bolts of the article, kind of get your perspective behind everything. So, but we kind of threw the plans out the window tonight. We brought you in early, so we're just going to keep you here as long as we can.
No worries, man. I enjoy it. Talking Colts football, I'm a happy camper, brother.
Oh, hell yeah. See, you in a good place. You
Exactly.
in a real good place. So Sammy, bring up Meanie's article. All right. Eric, we wanted to bring up this. Say the word for me, Chris.
Excerpt. Yes.
These damn words.
I
think I just need to learn Chinese because I could probably speak Chinese better than I can English.
Yeah, before you came on, Eric, all you heard was all these dang vowels and syllables. That's all you heard.
Damn nouns and pronouns.
Yeah, it's just
why can't all nouns matter?
Damn this language.
Gee, man, Christmas. But anyways,
how dare we communicate?
Eric, if you want to read this part out and then really give us, your thoughts behind it and how it all came about.
Yeah, basically just hopping right into it is I was really impressed with Flacco's performance on Sunday. I mean, not to the point of, as I pointed out to you guys, throwing the baby out with the bathwater. And by that, I mean AR. I mean, you need to get worked up about something. We need to be looking at the running back room. Mm-hmm. I mean, after JT's done, dude, it's a serious drop-off. I mean, JT was averaging 4.2 yards a carry before he got dinged up. And then we brought in Trey Sermon with his blistering attack of 1.6 yards. Dude,
that's blistering attack.
That's a serious area of concern. I mean,
yes.
Flacco did what Flacco was supposed to do. Mm-hmm. What a good backup does. Dude comes in, finishes the game out, doesn't lose the damn game for us. I know people are excited. It's like, oh, look what Flacco did. We won. Yeah, we did, but the dude's 39 years old. You guys care to guess on how old the illustrious Hall of Fame P. Money was when he said, I can't do this shit anymore?
He was
39.
About
he was 39.
Yeah.
Way to hit it up. No, Flacco's good. And the sad part about it is this dude resurrected Cleveland.
Yeah.
They finished the season. Phone didn't even ring. Cleveland didn't even ask him to come back. So,
which is surprising.
Again, like I posted in the article, Ballard lost a bet and he had to give Flacco a contract. So, dude, winner for us.
That's a good bet to lose right there.
Oh, heck yeah. But, the phone wasn't ringing. Nobody wanted this guy, but he's a quality dude, coming in here. We've played quarterback roulette ever since, how's a nice way to put this? Since Ballard got boned with Andrew Luck. I was actually at training camp. Chris was giddy about Andrew being back and being healthy. He was all excited. And I even brought up, well, why don't we trade Brissett? And we had a really good quarterback conversation. Mm-hmm. And then, the next week it's wait, I'm done. And that just really set Ballard back. And everybody seems to forget that this dude came in here with the promise of a generational quarterback.
Yeah.
And then that generational quarterback, yoink, is gone. And so this dude is doing the roulette. I mean, Phil Rivers, we honestly, in my humble opinion, should have held on to that dude for at least another year, maybe 2.
Yeah, but that was on him. He's the one that left that. He didn't.
Yeah, because I think
He
after
didn't
that he
want to
didn't play
stay.
another season.
Yeah, but had he been offered the contract, he said he would have played. But we just gave him that period and then let him go. We've done the old guy roulette, and then that's what you see this, especially this past week, that let Flacco start. No, you guys screamed for the last several years that stop it with the old guy quarterback thing. We need young blood. So Ballard goes out and he gets this young kid who the upside of AR is just phenomenal. I mean, as you guys have seen, and hell, the whole NFL saw, this kid has a cannon for an arm.
Absolutely.
And, they're whining about the short game. Dude, I can go out in the yard and play with my daughters. My daughters won't get a short pass to me. But you know what? The longer we work on that, they're going to get the ball to me. I'll get the ball back to them. It's give this kid the reps. Peyton Manning threw 28 interceptions his rookie year, which was a record of interceptions. But look what this dude did. On pace right now, AR would do 26 if you stretch it out and do the math. And the kid needs to take the lumps. And as much as this is not going to be a popular opinion, but we're not going to the Super Bowl this year.
What?
AR needs to get out there. AR needs the reps. If we take this thing long, dude, I will happily admit I was wrong that, AR was ready. But I think this kid, just like Peyton did, he needs a year under his belt to get those reps and to see the defenses and see things that he's not used to because he's not even completed a season yet. But you get him out there, let him see everything. And with the veterans around him, I think this kid's going to be phenomenal.
I think so too. And we covered that pretty heavy on Tuesday about accepting the growing pains as a fan base. And that's where we're at. We've got a very young core on this team, but it's very talented. But there's still going to be growing pains. AR is going to have the most noticeable growing pains because of the position that he's in.
High profile.
High profile. The camera's on him anytime he's on the field.
Like
so
you guys discussed,
everything's going to be highlighted.
Like you guys had discussed in the last podcast, Patrick, Ballard has built a really good squad. I mean, look at all the injuries. I mean, our defensive line was fantastic, and then we kept losing everybody. And like Dungy used to say, next man up. And he's done a great job of that. That's something that, I've been really happy with Ballard. And, I learned, as smart as I think I am, and I think you guys will agree, these guys
every day, twice on Sunday.
Football. These guys know a little bit more about football than we do. They know the insides,
Just
the
a little bit
habits of this stuff. And I said it years ago, with having Bill Polian, in 2001, we were in dire need of defensive help. And Polian goes out and grabs a freaking wide receiver out of Miami in the 2001 draft with our first pick. What the hell are you doing, dude? We don't need another receiver. And Reggie White. Dude knew the game a little bit better than I did. And again, just a few short years later, we won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's funny you brought that up because when they drafted Peyton Manning, I'm like, no, hell no. He's too happy feet. He wants to whine and cry all the damn time. Go with Ryan Leaf. What the F are you guys thinking? Da, 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 da. Boy, was I wrong on that one.
Yeah, that was you couldn't be any wronger.
And if you're wondering what Leaf's up to, you can search YouTube and watch the new police cams. Because I'm sure he's got some really good videos out there of his recent exploits. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud or just think it?
No, it's okay.
Both of them. But so I like to address it a little bit later on, but we do have a comment that I personally would just like to debunk a little bit.
Bring it up.
So yeah, from Paul Legas. By the way, shout out Teresa, shout out Stacy, shout out Kevin, Tyler, um,
Adam J.
Darletta, Adam J. Everybody, if I missed anybody, what's going on? What's up? But from Paul Legaspi, what's going on, Paul? He made that the comment, the AR will break something because like I've said, is a running QB and will get hurt too much. So far I'm right, not saying, just saying. And I have to refute that, because we've seen, yes, he can scramble, yes, he can run, but we've also seen that he can absolutely throw from the pocket. And what we're seeing,
Off foot.
yes, off foot. And the crazy thing is, we're talking about the fact that he's going to be able to do these things. Now, mind you, we're dealing with AR, who is in his second year, who's now played the equivalent to a half a season in the last 2 years. So we see that he has the ability to play. Now, mind you, some of the things that I've said, seeing the last few weeks, he needs to put a little bit more touch on the ball, because everything is pretty much just a 200-mile-an-hour laser rocket dodgeball coming directly at you. But the thing is, when he learns to put a little bit more touch on it, you're going to see that. Now, what we're also going to be seeing is him being able to throw more comfortably once he gets on the page with everybody. We see how different it was versus the Steelers, which to me personally, I think was probably the best defensive unit that we played this season. Now, we know that, and then you also saw the change when it came to and like I said, I know you never said he was bad, but the thing is, I'm not going to just put running QB on him, because right now what we're seeing is that if we look at somebody, and this is probably going to be a terrible comparison, but we could talk about it. Caleb Williams, the moment that he senses any pressure, is running left to try to go and throw the ball to a wide receiver going up the sideline. And we've seen that. So the thing is, AR right now is a QB that's developing, that we will see possibly run a little bit more, just because of the fact that when everybody's covered and you see that there's certain places that he's not able to throw, that he might just go ahead and run if he has a lane, which is fine, because behind our O-line, I don't see why not. But I can't just say that he's a running QB, because, like I said, we've seen him be effective in the pocket. And, I mean, the man went 3 for 4 this past week before he ended up getting hurt. Now, if injury is your concern, 100% justified, I get it. And even then...
Can I stop you right there?
Yeah.
Injury concern is for every single player.
Yeah.
You've got 250 plus to 300 plus grown men running 20 miles an hour head on at each other. Something's going to give. Injuries are a part of this game, even to a quarterback.
Yeah.
Now I'm not saying he is a running quarterback, but my God, I love it when he trucks somebody into the end zone.
No, absolutely.
I friggin' love it.
100%.
Do not stop that. There's a reason we drafted somebody like AR. Don't take away part of his game.
So
play it a little smarter, like we talked about on Tuesday. If he's banged up a little bit, get JT the ball a couple times. Let him get his legs back underneath him.
Yeah.
Let the blood move a little bit more. Not the very next play. But is he a running quarterback? No, he's not.
Yeah.
I think of AR as a more of a hybrid type quarterback.
Steve McNair type.
Yeah, he'll run when he
had
has
the wheels, but didn't use them all the time.
Yeah.
And Chris, I think you hit the operative word here, man. It's comfort.
Yeah.
I think once he gets more comfortable, and to go back to the old Peyton Manning thing, the happy feet thing, on those short passes, he's excited because the original coverage broke down. So he's trying to get rid of the ball. I think once he gets to that comfort level, that we're going to be all right. And again, young kid, man. I got stocks older than him.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, and that's the reason why I highlighted Josh Downs, because Josh Downs, I think, even though he was back in week 3, I think week 4 we saw him being able to kind of play as close to 100% or at 100% as he possibly could. So when we saw him play, we saw him being able to attack those zones within that first and second level. because we hadn't had that. We had Pittman, who, you know, he's not necessarily getting a lot of separation, but he's somebody that you know are going to go. But the thing is also, you have number ones who are going to play on Pittman more often than not. When you have somebody like Josh Downs is a route technician by all stretches of the imagination. He's probably he's the one wide receiver that I know if you ask him to run every route on the route tree, he's going to be able to do it, and he's going to do it effectively. So now you have somebody who's now going to be able to exploit defenses a little bit more. So now that's going to open up the opportunities for everybody else, which is why, even though Josh Downs, you're going to consider him a slot receiver because he's a shorter guy, he's definitely that wide receiver too, because you see exactly what he's able to do. I mean, 7 receptions for 89 yards on this stout defense, who was coming into this game the number 2 defense in the league, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right. That was
number 2 defense in the league, and you mean to tell me that you're getting 7 for 89 and Pittman's getting 6 for 113? Like, opportunities abound.
He reminds me a lot of Brandon Stokely, going back to the old age.
I like that.
You know how he can do all the routes. You know, this kid's going to be out there and give you the best that he has every play. So that's who I akin it to. But then again, I'm older than you guys.
No, don't do that.
Don't
do that. I know. I was there for Stokely. Okay? I was there for Stokely. Don't do that. No, but the thing is, like, I know we're going to be talking at length about everybody with this, but you know, like I said, you mentioned Flacco in your excerpt, Pat. So you mentioned that piece. He said, "Dadgummit."
And
we showed you.
But yeah, so you mentioned Flacco. Now we got Jacksonville coming up. Now, mind you, Jacksonville is. I told Pat on Tuesday, if we have to choose between playing the Chiefs, if we have a choice where we choose to either play the Chiefs or the Jags, I have a feeling that a lot of the fan base will probably just want to play Chiefs, because for some reason the Jags just play us like their literal lives depend on it. Like every single man on that 53-man roster, they're just like, listen, y'all have to win or we're going to exile you to an island for the rest of your life and you can't see your family or friends. Like, that's how they play us every single time that we play.
The Jaguars, every member on their team comes out with one leg hobbled. You know how you hobble a horse? You tie its leg up so it can't kick you.
Yeah.
If every player comes out hobbled, I'm still fearful that they'll beat us.
Yeah.
Just because it's just been such a dadgum curse.
Yeah.
We're 3-point underdog. Jags are 0-4, and we're a 3-point dog in this.
Because they know just how tough Jacksonville plays us. And you know what? And that's something. Now, peace out, Paul. Hey, be safe out there. I know coal mines are definitely a little bit crazy. But you know, it's always tough trying to figure out how Jacksonville is going to play us, because for me, Jacksonville is the exact definition of like chaos that you know, but continues to be chaos. Like, we can't get a beat on them for some reason. And so, you know, going back to your excerpt that you were where you spoke on Flacco, what do you believe is the approach with Joe Flacco under center as opposed to the approach with AR under center, with how these two offenses would look in order to make sure that you get the best of Jacksonville?
Well, we lose the mobility with AR being out if Joe's going to be under center. I mean, you've got that triple threat. If you've got AR out there, and God willing, we got JT too. You know, that I'll reckon back to the Peyton days too. You've got multiple attacks. You know, where's this coming from? You know, the quarterback steps back. Is he handing it to JT? Is he running it? Or is he going to launch this ball to Alec Pierce? You don't know what's going to happen. We're going to be more of a based, normal pocket passing offense if Flacco is going to be the guy in there. Granted, he's really good at it. And like I pointed out, man, he is an excellent game manager. That's something that his experience has brought on, is that dude can look across and go, yeah, this is going to work. No, this isn't. And he's going to minimize he's going to minimize the stupid mistakes.
Yeah.
A young guy would do. So that's going to be, I think it will be a slower approach. I think we're going to be the fast track kind of the Peyton hurry up offense if AR's playing. If Flacco's in there, I think we're going to be more of a more reserved and take what comes to us type of offense, in my opinion.
Yeah. What about you, Pat?
Well, I cannot disagree with anything on there, what Meany just said. But I will highlight that the RPO that we have with AR, JT, Pitt, Downs, Pierce is massive.
Yeah.
If you take that out, you just made the defensive coordinator's job 100 times easier.
Yeah.
You do not want to do that. I'm sorry. You don't want to make the opponent's job easier. If anything, you want to make it harder.
Yeah.
So taking that stance to it, why would you make it easier for somebody else to beat you?
Yeah.
You just don't do it.
And I think that's probably like the worst part about it, because like I said, when you're playing a team that every time they play you, they're playing like they have absolutely nothing to lose. Like, I mean, there was a time when they had back-to-back losing seasons, and I'm not talking about just losing seasons. I'm talking about the fact that they were awful, got Trevor Lawrence, and they beat us that first game, and then we were their last win in that season when Carson Wentz was our quarterback, when we had the 90+% chance to get into the playoffs. And I mean, we literally were their first win and their last win in a 2-year period. When they only had
that bum lost me some money off that shit.
And that's the reason why it just makes it that much, that much weirder when we're talking about the fact that we're just like, how are we unable to, do these things? And mind you, this is a team that has been able to contend with the best of them and somehow lose to Jacksonville, who at that time was just an absolute raging dumpster fire.
Yeah.
But the thing, and now, so like we covered like Joe Flacco and AR, because like I said, AR right now they say in day to day, but they're saying it's just like limit our participation, we may see. But right now, there's a chance that there's a chance that we might be without JT for this game. So then if we're without JT, how does that change the outlook on this game, even if AR is in?
I don't think it changes it too drastically, but the outcome changes. You can still run everything you want to run, especially in the RPO, with our backup backs, but you're not going to get the output that you would get with JT caliber type running back.
Yeah.
Sermon's not going to keep him honest like JT would.
Yeah. Yeah, because with JT, you have to have the best gap integrity possible.
Yep.
And
because he'll find that sliver and he'll make you pay for it.
And we've seen the last 2 weeks he did that.
Now, hopefully, our O-line can create some bigger holes for our backup backs. JT's not out there. Give them a little bit more space because they actually need it. Hopefully. Yeah. And if that can happen, then it's going to keep them honest.
Yeah,
because our O-line is creating those holes, and even me with a decent hole, I'm going to get some yards. I'm going to ask for oxygen after each run, but I'm going to get some yards.
I was going to say, it's just like you're going to get some yards. Now, what you'll need on the sideline afterwards, including possibly.
Care.
Yeah, you're going to need the fountain of youth and an iron lung. I mean, at that point, it's just like you're going to need a few things, but still, it's absolutely possible that with this line, and this is another game that's going to be big in trench integrity, because I actually have a buddy who's a Jags fan that also loves Peyton Manning. If you hear that, Tim, that's fine. But the thing is, the Jags O-line right now isn't operating well in the slightest. No. And because of that, Trevor looks like he's playing with a lack of confidence, because he knows that it's going to be really tough for him to make plays. And I mean,
Very
if
tough.
we're talking about like we got to be able to attack the trenches, because if we let ATN get off or we let Trevor get any semblance of any type of time in the pocket,
And
there's a
rhythm.
chance that he can go ahead and dice us up.
Yeah, he'll hurt us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm hoping for the best, but and then moving away from the offense, we're just gonna move over to defense. Because defensively, like I said, it might be another week without Kenny. He hasn't practiced yet this week.
Let's bring up Adam J's last statement.
I think he came.
Adam, which game are you talking about? Especially not that Texans game, are you?
He said last season. I'm trying to. I'm sorry. I have to go and pull this up because I'm not sure exactly what game specifically. But
Yeah, give us a little more insight on that thought, Adam J.
Sermon just makes me miss Zach.
yeah, but but the thing I feel like Zach was more of an unknown. Because we know that he spent time in Buffalo, and he had the time that he had in Buffalo, which was like, I'm going to say more so forgettable.
You were 100% correct, sir.
Yeah. And
It
I mean,
was
the thing
very
is,
forgettable.
we got Zach Moss and we didn't know what to expect, but we saw him actually step in and do great things in this new offense. And so, that was, and the one that he's speaking in reference to, it was actually versus Pittsburgh. Trey Sermon had 17 rushes for 88 yards. That was his best game for us last season.
I mean, they're both capable backs.
Yeah.
They're not JT by no means, but they're capable.
Yeah.
Now we just got to get our O line to, create some holes for them, give them some green to see, let them do their things.
Yeah.
I don't know what the status of Evan Hall is. I'd like to see him back on the field. I thought he showed great potential in training camp last year. Hard-nosed hitter. He's not afraid to take a hit. He'll pound that ball.
Yeah.
But these other guys probably a little bit quicker. So create the holes and let them use their speed on you.
Yeah. Yeah. And
The key is creating the holes.
Yep. And and I think that's going to be probably the most important because, once again, it's just like, I don't think that there's been a whole lot on Trey Sermon that we've seen. So, I mean, I have a feeling that the game plan is going to be a little bit more creative. I mean, when you have AR in, I believe that you're going to have the opportunity to be as creative as possible because he's a quarterback that opens up a lot of different dimensions on an offense. The one thing that I think that's going to be my concern is how will the cornerbacks in the secondary be able to respond, because they had a great week last week. And I mean, it's just like I'm going to say they had a good game last week, but once again, we're going up against the evil that we know that we somehow just can never conquer.
Yeah.
So I mean, how do you make sure that you're I'm going to say being consistent against this team that throws everything they got at you, including their fans?
And they're going to be desperate too because they're 0-4.
Yeah. Like if they go 0-5, then I believe their playoff chances are in like the single digits. And this is a Jacksonville team that I don't see being able to go on a 12-game run if for some reason they lose on Sunday.
No.
I don't see it either, but I'm not outside of the curse that we have in Jacksonville. They're still a talented squad. They still have good coaching staff. I don't care if they was 0-8 coming into this game. I would not take them lightly.
Hell, they almost beat Miami.
Yeah.
They kind of choked that one away, but I don't think they were out of. I didn't study all 4 of their games, but I don't think they were out of any of them.
No, they were. I think even this one against this past one against the Texans. I mean, Houston Texans fans, they were sitting there talking about Bobby Slowick would almost coach the game away from him. And I mean, watching some of the plays towards the end of that game, that game was absolutely attainable. But those things like the O-line play for Jacksonville and the inconsistencies, they showed up. So
now, Meanie, I got to ask, what's in the cup?
Oh, I'm drinking White Claw because I'm doubting my heterosexuality. No, it's actually water. Sorry, I had to throw a dig at some friends of mine that like White Claws. No, nothing against White Claws or any of the malted beverage. No, it's actually water.
No, I'm gonna say it. If you drink White Claws, do better. Do better.
Okay,
Just do
100%.
Yes, absolutely. Because it's just like if you drink White Claws, you've pretty much given up at that point.
Well, we had
you're the Zima of the new generation.
I remember Zimas. I was a small child, but I remember Zimas. Okay.
I remember putting Jolly Ranchers in them. That's all I remember about them.
So Patrick, you even drank those damn things?
Back in my younger days, yeah. I would drink horse piss if it get me drunk back in my younger days. But I only asked because we had Bob Kravitz on a couple years ago, and his first time on, he didn't know that we were pretty laid back here.
Yeah.
And Acosta, he was actually drinking a beer, or it maybe had been some bourbon or something. He's like, I didn't know I can drink. We're like, yeah, go get you one. We don't care.
Back in the day, I was the bane of Bob Kravitz's existence because he was so anti-Colt. I mean, that was every article I did for the Blue Crew was just, proving that Bob Kravitz was wrong. And I actually sat down in Nashville in a bar with Bob, and he complimented me on what I wrote. And he goes, man, I agree with everything you said. He goes, but I wrote that because my job is to sell papers. So if I create controversy and get people like you wound up, we're selling newspapers. And I was like, wow, I just thought you were a dick, man. That's pretty cool. So,
yeah, he's not like Dan Dockett.
No, he's a good dude.
Yeah, Bob's awesome. I love Bob to death. But that's why I just had to bring that up because that's why I asked you.
Well, man, if I'm on again, then I'll definitely bring the beverages, man. I'll share.
If you want them. They're yours.
But yeah, so now, and like I said, I always am watching the time before Pat tries to blame me for going over. So then I'm going to say, what are the keys to victory against this wily Jacksonville team, and what do you see the score being once the clock hits 0-0-0 at the fourth quarter?
Go ahead, Manny. We'll let you do this one.
I'm going to throw 27-10 Colts.
Oh, commanding. I like it.
I think we're going to be able to snap this curse since 2014 and get something done. I think the locker room is that tight that they're going to be able to, again, do the old Dungy next man up. And I'm sticking hell, my prediction for last week was pretty damn close. I said 27-21, but I feel our boys can tighten this thing up and that we can end this drought in the tarp-covered palace.
Jeez.
And again, it depends on who's starting. I think if AR comes out, I will step out on this too. But I think if AR comes out, I think the score is going to be even larger than 27-10. If it's Flacco, it's going to be more of a conservative game. Yeah. And so that's why I'm leaning at the 27-10. I think it's Flacco. Because, again, you got the game management. He's a smart dude. And we're going down into tarp land. So I think we can do this.
Okay. Yeah, my prediction's 33-17 Colts.
Wow.
But the reason we break this curse is because AR's playing. AR's from Gainesville.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he alone is going to break this curse.
Sweet.
Listen,
happy man.
There's too many different things that would represent. Like, AR comes in his home state, which I'm sure there's going to be people at the game. Like, his people are going to be there. Like they're going to be in his home state. For him to get a win in Jacksonville for the first time in a decade in his home state, that would be nothing short of poetic. And I think that enough with the recency bias that a lot of people in the fan base have is going to be more symbolic than anything else. Like it doesn't matter how ugly the win is. If we win in Jacksonville, and not only that, but that will be a game that puts us above 500.
Yeah.
So that means that you go to 3-2, you win in Jacksonville, you
Conference
break the
game.
drought. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a GoFundMe to put his statue right next to Peyton's. They're going to do that just for the simple fact of beating Jacksonville in Jacksonville. Like that
Absolutely.
would be like that would be enough to make Colts fans just go ahead and just be like, you know what? That's all we need to know. Sign
That
to
would
the
light up
extension
the fan
now.
base, bro.
Exactly. So, and for me, I can't go. I'm going to say we win this game 28-17. Because I can see Jacksonville being very scrappy, but that O-line just absolutely putting him out to pasture.
Yeah.
Because they just continue to be bad. And I mean, honestly, the O-line has gotten worse for them. Now, mind you, this is also hearing this from a Jags fan that also loves Peyton Manning. So, Tim, you're welcome. And so, it's going to be, like I said, that trench play is going to be very, 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 very important. And if we manage to make sure that we're doing everything in our power to just keep on getting to him, he's going to be seeing ghosts. He's absolutely going to be seeing ghosts.
I hope Trevor's running for his life all day.
Yes. So, and here, Eric, if you got a little bit more time, we're just going to go over some of the comments in here. And this way, it's just like you can jump in. We're just going to go ahead and just touch on a couple. Adam J says only complaint on Chris Ballard is secondary. Outside of Juju, our starters from linebacker back are thirds to undrafted. And then he says he could have played Sunday. Let's not act like he couldn't have. Tyler said that. And then they say every tackler who has hit or hurt AR has been 20 to 30 pounds lighter than him, was what Kevin Bowen said Tuesday. Not sure how accurate that is. Teresa says Jacksonville is 0-4. Good God, let's get this monkey off our back and beat them. Latu can shake the shit. Her words, not mine, out of Lawrence and make my day. We need this win. Adam says, I think our wideouts will benefit immediately with Joe there. All of the overthrows and off-target stuff will be hits. Complete half the misses in week 1. We win easily. Our wideouts will get open. And then he says, I see play call conservative on offense, but the run after the catch turns it to a blowout with either QB. So still close, though, because we love to let them stay around 28-20 us, is what he says that would be the end score. So then, Eric, for you, as far as those statements, which one of those is the one that you believe just rings the truest in regards to how they're talking about with conservative play style? I'm going to say with like the cornerbacks that CB's drafted or some of the other guys. Which one to you is just hits that chime?
I got to stand up for Ballard and his choices. I mean, these kids are stepping up week after week, watching this defense come in here. I'd like to point to one thing, but I think he's surrounded, and again, touching back to your point from last week, we've surrounded this team with a good group of young kids, and these guys are stepping into roles. I mean, like Bortolini wasn't even a starter. Again, flipping back to going to offense, but Bortolini wasn't even a starting center. And this kid has just been a utility or a Swiss Army knife, if you will, when you come and you look at O-line. And this kid came in and just seamlessly took over, and we had zero problems. Yeah. I think it's going to be, and I hate to keep falling back and beating the drum of next man up, but I think D-wise, we're going to see some unnamed guys come out here and hold the ship together, and we're going to end up walking out of Jackson, Tucky, the home of the Carp. We're going to walk out of there with a W this weekend.
Nope. Hey, I'm with it.
Again, I'd love to point to one thing on the D that I think is going to be great. I hate the fact that D-Buck's still out, and Kenny Moore, dude, you can't put a value on Kenny.
Yeah.
And hopefully Quiddy's coming back this week.
Yeah.
But, I'm next man up. We need these kids to step up and do the job they're paid for. I mean, like Flacco. Let's throw that back to that. This dude was paid to do a job. He came in and he did it.
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't rely on him to continue to do that. Because again, the dude, man, it's, if, you want to get a ride to the mall, you ask mom and dad, and then grandpa steps up and goes, yeah, I'll take you there, Billy. And you're like, yeah, you know what? I can get there with grandpa, but I'd much rather ride with mom and dad because it's going to be a much smoother ride. But man, let's just next man up. Let's get this stuff done.
Yeah.
For me, I like Adam J's statement where he says Gus needs to be aggressive again like last week. I think that's the key on 100%. Our defense. I've been bitching about that for a couple of years now, that with the speed, the talent, and the strength that we have on our defense, it's like he puts leashes on them. Yeah. And that drives me nuts. This defense was not built to play bend, don't break. This defense was built to break you quickly. Yeah. And
I think you did that last week, Patrick. I think the second half, man, we characteristically just fall back into the, okay, let's not push this.
Yeah.
You're 100%, man. So
we're winning. Let's be conservative now. No.
Go for the throat.
Yeah.
Rip it out until that damn clock hits 0. I don't give a shit. I hate conservative play calls on offense and defense, especially defense, especially the way Chris has built this defense. My God, look at Lot 2. Look at Dio, Big Grove, Buck, Twyquan Lewis, Adetomwe. These are monster men that can move. Get them in there. Yeah. Force everything to be done in front of your linebacker core. Chris, me and you talked about it, I think last week, when your safety has the most tackles in the league and on the team, there's a breakdown.
Yeah.
Your safety should not be clocking that. I'm sorry. That's just not the way the game is played. That just means everything in front of that safety is breaking down. And it breaks down because Gus has got him playing like deer in the headlight. Okay, yes. Now we can move because this call was, I'm not supposed to do anything until he hits this part of the field. I hate that. Let him loose. Let him friggin' eat. And this defense will eat. I promise you that, but you got to let the leashes off, man. You got to. The whole game. No more conservative bullshit. And Gus, I know you watch this program. And we only look alike out of accident. So nobody start calling me Gus Bradley and hating on me.
We're going to call you Bus Bradley.
Bus Bradley.
Yes.
Bus.
So then with that being said, we got our scores, we got everything up. Now just need to go ahead and just tell the people where to find you guys. Welcome, Brittany. Know you're coming on a little bit later. But Eric, tell the people where they can find you. I don't know how present you are on social media. I know we can find you in Touchdown Town generally.
Oh, yeah, hang out. Hit us in the Blue Crew lot, man. It's just the easiest way to say this is you guys are coming down to tailgate for a Colts game. The Peyton Manning statue is throwing a football to me. I am right across the street on the north side there. I'm parked right next to the Blue Crew fire truck. Nice weather. I've got the Colts Mustang down there. But since we're coming into crappy weather, she's probably not going to make it down anymore. No, find me on IndyBlueCrew.com. Also on Facebook of Indy Blue Crew. And you'll see hopefully a lot more of me and my mental ramblings here with our Anvil folks coming up in the future. Because Hopefully, some of you folks like my extremely twisted sense of humor.
And I will give you all a tidbit of information. That man over there says, hey, come try this. Go try it. This dude knows how to cook.
Thank you.
I'm telling you right now, you're going to hate yourself if you do not.
Oh, Patrick, for the props. I made my INDY Italian beef for the Bears game. Yep.
Yeah.
Patrick said to me, if I make gold, my friend, you made a fat guy happy.
Phenomenal.
Thank you.
But that's the fun about coming out to the Blue Crew Light. You can go to anybody's tailgate. They'll feed you. They'll drink you. Just throw them a few dollars into their little tip jar so they can buy food for the next game.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like last week, man. It's like Steeler fans walk by. Boo, Steelers suck. Hey, man, you want a beer? You want something to eat?
Yep.
That's the beauty about Colts football, man. It's a big family. We're out there to have fun and enjoy it.
Yes, absolutely. And Big
As
Pete,
you guys see, we welcome everybody.
Yeah.
We don't care if you're a fan of football. We're family. Just because you don't cheer on the same team that I do, it just makes you stupid. But it doesn't make you no less family.
Yep.
So
we all have those people.
There's always those slow kids in the family. It's okay. we still love them.
That's right. There's those people we put at the small table away from all the rest of us. Yeah.
They'll eventually see the light, come to the blue.
Oh, and then Adam says, where's the Anvil Watch party at this week?
Ooh, I think everybody's on their own this week. I don't think there is one.
All right. Well, with that being said, Big P, where can people find you?
Well, I'm going to tell Sean this because Sean ain't following me on Twitter yet. Sean, how you doing? You're coming in late, but you can find me on the X at Big P Colts. On Facebook, it's just Patrick Doerflein.
I didn't even think about the Twitter there, Patrick. You're right. I am at Blue Meanie Colts on Twitter.
There you go.
All right.
Now you'll have to change your thing down there so we get the @ sign.
I can do that, my friend.
You got to make it easy for everybody.
Absolutely. And you can find
Everybody's
me
got too much shit to do anyway, so just make it easy for them.
Yep. And you can find me at CJ Colts Fan on Twitter. Chris Bolt Speedman Jackson on Facebook. And if you want to know why it's Bolt Speedman, add me on Facebook and I'll tell you. But in the meantime, well, hey guys, we'll see
there
you
he goes.
next week after. Well, there you go. See, we like it. Immediate results. But people, we will see you next week after a Jacksonville win. And like I said, just peace out from the Sick Podcast Anvil Show. Sammy.
Oh, go ahead. No.
Chris, Patrick, thank you for having me on, guys.
All right, one more shout out to Meanie here. You guys hit the link. Go read this article.
Yes.
Absolutely phenomenal. You're going to get a big old fat piece of taste of what this man can write. Do it. Go check it out. It's phenomenal.
Yell, scream, go horse.
I'm done rambling.
All right. Now, Sammy, go ahead and take us out. Make sure you check out the article.
Peace.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast Anvil Show on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.